And welcome back. Tomorrow I'm going to work on the truck, so tonight I gotta load up my trunk with all my tools. I actually laid everything right here on the ground, and I'm gonna have my son Jacob help me with everything. He's always eager and determined to help. Let's just say his quality control isn't exactly there. Come on, faster. Take your time, Jake. Hey, be careful.
Here you go.
Come on.
One at a time.
One at a time, that works. Come on.
That's big.
I know, it's big.
One at a time.
Yep.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Here you go. Here you go.
Thank you.
Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. This is big thing. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Come on. Here you go. Here you go. Are we done?
That too.
This?
No, that.
This?
Yep.
That's not it.
Okay, that's everything. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so we have a 2005 Nissan Pathfinder with a 4.0 engine. And as you can see, we have some misfire codes, but I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about the code for the air fuel ratio sensor. And if you go look at our fuel trims in bank 2, which is the suspected bad sensor, you can see we have very high positive fuel trims on bank 2. And with the engine running, it just feels like it wants to stall, and I can feel all of the misfires. So now let's go ahead and have a look at both of the upstream air fuel ratio sensors, just so I have something to compare it to. When I first turned the car on, this is what the pattern was looking like, and maybe after a minute or two of running, it actually changed its pattern. So the sensor is actually, for the most part, being stuck low like that, and once in a while you can see it like spikes upward. So I want to see if any of the sensors respond to lean or rich conditions. So I'm going to go ahead and add propane into the air box. And as you can see, bank 1 is responding to the rich condition. You see the graph is working its way down. But if you look at bank 2, which is the red line, it's just dead. It's not responding at all to the rich condition. So now I'm going to cause a lean condition by pulling a vacuum hose off of the engine.
Alrighty then.
And you can see how quickly bank 1 is responding to the lean condition, whereas bank 2 still is dead as a doorknob. So at this point, I feel pretty confident about changing out that air fuel ratio sensor. So let's go ahead and get it done. And I'm actually coming from the top of the engine bay, as you can see. But while I was doing the job, I did notice that if you pull off the driver's side or left side front wheel, and you take off the fender liner or the splash shield, whatever you want to call it, it looks like there may be some access to get to this sensor. So that might be an easier method. You might want to try that, but I ended up just coming from the top, and let me tell you, it was not my idea of fun. It was a pretty tight space, and it took more time trying to get the new sensor in and get the thread started than it did to take the old one off. So with the repair done, got my scanner back on the car, and I'm just gonna go ahead and clear the code and start it back up, and let's see how it runs. And after starting it, I can immediately tell that the car is already running much smoother. There's no more misfire, and it just sounds so much better. Now I forgot to get some video of the short-term fuel trims, but I did check them, and sure enough, they did correct themselves. So as far as that goes, everything is working great. Here's a graph of the new sensor installed. This is soon after starting up the car, and you could already tell that there's an immediate difference on how the graph used to look with the bad sensor, and after a few minutes of running, this is what the graph settled down at. So Here's what the old one used to look like right here on top, and this is the new one on the bottom. So as you can see, a major difference. This is a perfect example of how a bad sensor causes other problems. In our case, it was the misfires. And I'd hate for someone to go ahead and start chasing those misfires and, start replacing spark plugs and wires, because it's a very common thing. But anyways, I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up. And like always, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.